Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be having another fun one where we're going to be learning about vocabulary words with the X-Men. All right, so a lot of characters from the X-Men have names that are related to their powers. I don't know how to explain it well. We'll see. We'll go into it right now, all right, without giving it away. So, we're going to give you guys a quick little background about who the X-Men are. They haven't really been popping up in the MCU. They have had movies recently, as early as a few years ago, Dark Phoenix came out, but they were one of the biggest properties for comics. They first appeared in X-Men #1 in 1963, created by Jack Kirby and Stan Lee from Marvel Comics. Their team's powers are from genetic mutations, which is a change in one's DNA sequence. So a mutation is you have a set of your genetics that it's how it's supposed to be, and these X-Men have a mutation, so something changed in their genetic sequence in their genes to give them superpowers. Sometimes these themes deal with prejudices, so preconceived notions or opinions before people know them, and racism. So they're a very popular group. This is right here, their first issue ever, their first appearance in X-Men #1. And then this is X-Men #1 from 2021, the most recent line to come out and their most recent #1. So X-Men are very popular. If you haven't heard of them before, then they are supposed to show up in the Marvel Cinematic Universe in the coming years, and so hopefully you'll get to know them then. But now, let's dive into it, all right? To me, my X-Men's a popular, more recently popular line from the main guy, Charles Xavier, Professor X. We won't know about him today. We're not going to learn about him. But let's dive into some of the characters, all right? So first up, we got Rogue. Rogue is it means it's a dishonest or unprincipled man or woman, so someone without values. The rogue, her character powers include absorbing memories, absorbing powers and abilities by touching them, skin to skin contact. So if you've ever watched the first X-Men from, I forget the year, but I think it might have been 01, 2001. So in the movies, when she touches one of the mutants, she steals their powers and it hurts them. She was originally a villain, so she used these powers for bad and thus received the name Rogue because she was dishonest, she was stealing powers, and she was unprincipled. She didn't care what was going on. She just stole the powers and used them against people. Next up is Gambit, her love interest, actually. Um, Gambit is another word for it means a calculated move, plan, or strategy. You'll you may have heard this from a popular Netflix show called The Queen's Gambit, which Gambit is comes from the game of chess, and it's when you sacrifice your pawns or any of your smaller pieces for an advantage. So if you're gonna put your pawn in the middle of the board, you're potentially sacrificing it to make way for another big piece to make a big opening or to however you're using it. It's a gambit, some sort of strategy. And so the character of Gambit is able to control, manipulate, and make kinetic energy and turn it into a weapon. He's very smart and strategic, thus the name Gambit. He uses his powers to think quick, to understand his opponents, and strategize. And so he can throw cards and he knows exactly what to do when he needs it. So he's very strategic in his attacks. And that's how he got the name Gambit. Next up, we have Colossus. Colossus is a reference to the word colossal. There's also, it's derived from a big creature, a big powerful creature. Colossal means extremely large or big, but it's got to be gigantic. So if you've ever heard of the Colosseum in Rome, that's because it's colossal. It's a big arena for people to come and see. The character is massive and powerful. This Colossus is 6'7". Powers include being incredibly strong and can transform his body into an armor of steel. So it's very hard to take him down. He's very impenetrable. And so that's how we got the name Colossus. Next up, we have forge. Forge is a type of oven used for heating metal together to shape. You're forging two elements together. Forge means to create as one. So with these two elements, you can put them together and you're forging a new weapon or forging a new object. It's primarily used to talk about weapons or armor or tools. Um, the character Forge is the one responsible for creating new weapons and armor for the mutants. He has an incredible talent for utilizing technology, the best of his ability, and seeing how it functions. He's the guy in charge of making weapons. He's the one that you want to go to know, all right, this is what we need to go into the mission. And so he's a forge. He makes the weapons. He turns things into new stuff. In the new series, the mutants, when they are on their nation of Krakoa, he's able to forge weapons through different plant life from Krakoa and turn them into new biological warfare weapons and do different things with them. So he forges things together. Marrow is a soft, fatty substance found in bones where blood cells are produced, and it has to deal with bones. And so you might have guessed it, Marrow uses bones as her ability. She can grow her bones outside of her skin and use it as weapons, armor, knives, whatever she wants to do with the bones. As you can see in this picture, she's got her hand made out of bone. Um, that's her superpower, right? Next up, we have Mirage. Mirage means it's an optical illusion where you may see something that looks real, but it isn't. You mainly see this in the desert or in places where it's really hot. You know, when you're walking and when it's super hot and you can see the heat on the floor and it kind of looks like a pool of water. Well, that's where the word comes from. That pool of water that you might think is called the mirage. You think it looks like something, but it's really not. And so it's a hallucination or an apparition. If you want to learn apparition, go watch the Harry Potter video. But it's a fantasy at the end of the day. This character's powers are the ability to use energy to create 3D objects from her mind. So she's using optical illusions to create 3D objects. So a lot of the times, if she wants a crossbow, she just thinks of one and it comes out. So she's able to use that. She's also one of the only Native American superheroes, and she's a very prominent member, the New Mutants. So that's pretty cool. Next up, we got Cyclops and his gal pal Phoenix. Cyclops is straight out of Greek mythology. A Cyclops is a creature that only has one eye in the middle of their face. Scott Summers, the Cyclops, has the power to shoot a powerful laser beam from his eyes. The visor that he uses to control this superpower connects from one eye to the other, and so it looks like one giant eye becoming a Cyclops. So one eye, and his powers have to do with the eye. Next, we got Phoenix. The Phoenix also, it's a unique bird that was able to regenerate itself and live forever. It's said to rise from the ashes. So once it's dead and burned up, it rises from those ashes and becomes something new. It's reborn. The Phoenix in Marvel Comics, and particularly in the X-Men, it finds itself attached to a character named Jean Grey, who is a she's a telepath. She can use her mind, so telepathic powers. Um, it attaches itself to a host and is incredibly powerful. The way that she's the Phoenix is that she dies so many times in Marvel Comics, and she's always reborn. So once she dies, she comes back like a Phoenix. Finally, we got to the most famous X-Men of them all, the Wolverine. The Wolverine is by far the most famous X-Men character. Everyone knows who he is. But he's named after an actual animal. Many people think that he's named after a wolf or some sort of werewolf, some dog. No, he's named after a wolverine, which is a predatory carnivorous animal found in North America. Mainly, you can find it in from Alaska through Canada. It looks like a small little bear. It's short, stocky, it's strong, it's a predator, it's a little vicious. Um, and that's just like the character. In the movies, Hugh Jackman isn't short, but in the comics, Wolverine, Logan is. So Logan is from Canada, just like the animal. He has animal-like senses, so he can sniff things out. He has strong claws, and he's very aggressive, and he's a beast-like guy. So the movies, he's this big jacked up dude, but in the comics he's short, stocky, he's very hairy. He's People say that he smells, but he's lovable. Everyone loves Wolverine. He's vicious. So I wanted to show you guys what a real Wolverine looks like because people don't know this. But yeah, this is a Wolverine. That's how they look like. Small little bears. They have vicious little fangs. Those are the claws. That's why Wolverine has some strong claws. So, yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. So now you guys know what an actual Wolverine is. All right, so we've reached the end of today's video. To earn credit for this video, I need you to complete the following. All right, so create a sentence for 4 to 5 of the words you learned today. These words should all be different sentences. So one sentence for Rogue, one sentence for Gambit, one sentence for Colossus, Colossal, etc. Okay? So it should be something to do with things other than superheroes. So for instance, this donut I ordered is colossal. I could never finish it. Not saying Colossus is over there or Cyclops can shoot lasers from his eye. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear something like this donut I ordered is colossal. I could never finish it. Or using it in a way that you would use it every day. Not talking about superheroes, okay? So give me 4 to 5 sentences, about 4 to 5 words. If you can throw 2 words in there together, that's fine, but I want to see it's got to make sense, all right? I don't want it to be, oh, Cyclops, Wolverine, and the Phoenix were all hanging out. No, that's not how it's gonna work. You gotta make sure that you're making a sentence for each one, okay? So if you have any questions, please just let me know. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. This is a cool one for some Marvel fans. We're doing some more cool stuff. So let me know what are you interested in, and maybe we can turn it into a lesson one day. All right. Thank you so much, and have a great day.